Hello, hello, how are we? How are we doing? Are we alright? How's things? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hi Kirsty, hi Mandy. Can you hear me? Is it working? Goedenavond, Harwig. Can you hear me and see me? Great, thank you very much. Well, I will warn you, there will be errors today, there will be mistakes, there will be things going spectacularly wrong. I got a new PC this week. Oh, bollocks, echo. Right, I'll have to move everything over to the... Is that any better? Just, it's so annoying. I've switched over to a PC, and so I've had to start from scratch, which is a pain in the arse. I don't know why, but it's added loads of microphones when I don't need loads of microphones. I only need bleeding one. And as much as I've tried to turn them off, obviously I've left one on, haven't I? Or an extra one on. Saf, how you doing, mate? How's things? Yeah, so it will, at some point, there will be errors, there will be mistakes. Buttons I try and press will not work. Oh, hang on. Oh, look, I've just pressed a button and a chat came up. That's me, by the way, it's not Botrix. But while I'm here, let's just make sure. I did copy it over. It's supposed to be working, so it says. Copy the widget. I will try and put the link back into this and see if it works. It might do, it might not do. We shall see. I'm doing this live, by the way. I am pushing buttons as we speak. But there you go. That should at some point appear. At some point, hopefully. You can see the flags, yes. You can see the flags better now, and also there's still Jeff's shrine in the background. But no chat. Wonder why that is. Here we go. Joined. Why is it not on the screen? Ah, yes it is. Now it is. I've also made a couple of changes to the camera, although I'm sure that's just tried to do another autofocus when it shouldn't do. Pain in the arse. I don't get, why is it doing that? Why is the chat gone a bit crazy? Yeah, not happy with that. 500 by 1080. That should be the whole screen. Why is there nothing coming up? Rotten sods. Stay on. Right, stay on. Please stay on. I've shrunk. Right. Why is that doing that now? Why is it disappearing off the screen? Don't hide old messages. That's why it's doing it. One more go at this. One more go. Right. Hopefully things should stay on the screen now. And we should have the chat down that side. Flags behind us. I haven't got round to doing the pirate one yet because I've had loads to do this week, including the new PC, which is rather nice, but a complete pain in the arse as well. Let's have a look. Hardly slept and run around for most of the day, Saf. No wonder you're knackered, mate. Heidi, I'm not awaiting Heidi's call. Heidi being my ex-wife, by the way. Calls from your ex-wife never go well. Yeah. Half in bed already. Marvellous. Still disappearing. Give it a few more chats and see if it stays up. Because it shouldn't do. I don't know why it's changed any of the settings. I've just copied the old where it used to be. I didn't click on anything. I haven't pressed anything on Botrix. Is that any better? Is that small? Too small? Big enough? Do you want it bigger? Is it too small? Could it do with being a tad bigger? How can you be in half and your legs hanging out of it? Or the leg exhaust, as we used to call it. When it's too hot to have the covers over you, but it's too cold to have the covers off you. You have them over you and you put a leg out. That's called your leg exhaust. That just allows you to cool down slightly. Saf, you have some info that will infuriate me. Go on, tell me. Tell me I can handle it. If you notice the camera's pulled out slightly as well, I don't know what was happening. I reset everything and for some reason it went like this. So I don't know why the last settings decided to zoom in, because I had a look on the zoom and the zoom wasn't zoomed. There was no zoom. Who's zooming who? My cold still hasn't gone yet. It's still hanging round. Not completely gone anyway, it's still a little bit here. When mixed with a bit of asthma and I think a bit of hay fever, makes breathing particularly bad. But we'll get there, won't we? We'll get there. Spring is almost here. Certainly is, although I've got the window open because it's really hot in here. And it was warm this morning, but about 10 minutes ago we had a storm hit. Rain was absolutely bouncing off the windows and it sounded like I had a problem with the audio on the stream. But it wasn't, it was just that outside. It was crazy how loud it was. So the red side of the Mersey now has made the Cape Town branch HQ at the pub 50 metres away from your house. Evil. Ruined it so you can't even go for a quiet pint without being surrounded by them. Birch pollen's already there, yep. Trees always start early, don't they? Which is a pain in the... Well, not a pain in the arse, obviously, it's a pain in the nose, but... Yeah. Horrific stuff, horrific. I'll be able to make that Botrix a bit bigger, I think, in the future. How about now? Should we make it 600 instead of 500? Should we try that? don't think will have made any difference whatsoever. Bitch pollen. Bitch pollen works. Also sounds like an all-female punk band, doesn't it? Taking donations for petrol and matches. I like your thinking. Saf. Good lad. I'm delighted with that though. That button I pressed, I'll press it again now. This is just a button press. And that comes on. How good's that? I can have loads of different messages set up that I just press a button and they automatically bounce into the stream. I like that. I'm going to do that more often. And that was button pressing and nothing went wrong yet. Have you never bothered by pollen? Your only allergies are mussels and red onion. I was never bothered by pollen until I was 18. When we moved here to Southport, just round the back here, all the fields, they had loads of rapeseed, all that yellow stuff. And that was when I suddenly decided I was full of hay fever. Yep. Nice t-shirt. Repping the squad. I thought to try and do it to keep them on my side. And hope that it's a little bit of good karma, because obviously everything's changed. All the buttons have changed. Half the buttons aren't being used anymore, thankfully. Hopefully the PC will last a bit longer than the laptop. It's got 4 different fans. It's got loads of open space. It's going to be cool, man. It's going to be really cool. I've unplugged and replugged other stuff in as well, which should help. And I've ordered some sound deadening panels, which I'm going to put between me and the PC and also behind the monitors. So any fans that are there, the sound should get eaten up. Tomorrow's going to be coldish, 23 degrees. My heart bleeds for you, mate. It's, there's people wearing shorts around here and it's -2. Rapeseed does look beautiful, it really does. It looks fantastic. Especially if you've got like 7 or 8 fields in a row that are all filled. Looks fantastic. Nice summer's day, sunny, bouncing off the rapeseed. But it makes me sneeze badly, really badly. And it never happened, like I said, it never happened until I was 18. And then I was at a barbecue, not far from here actually, from where I live now. And I started sneezing and my mate went, "Oh look, you've got hay fever." No, I haven't. No, trust me, you have. Give me an antihistamine and I've been on them ever since. They don't always work, but they do most of the time. Yeah, I'm still warm, but what's it like in the Netherlands? It's one of the strangest countries on earth for temperatures. When I think it's cold in the UK, it's absolutely freezing in the Netherlands. And when I think it's warm here, all of a sudden it's like 35 in Enschede and places like that. It's mad. It's stupidly cold and stupidly hot all within the space of about 6 months. Still nice though. Why am I bouncing in fields, dogging again? No, this predates the dogging era. Just driving through past the fields is bad enough. Not even parking up. Yeah, I can't work it out. You're that far away on the map, and yet the weather is completely different. It's so strange. I know we are more of an anomaly than anywhere else because of where we are. We're surrounded by water, which keeps us cool. We're also surrounded by water, which keeps us warm. It's very strange. So I suppose it's us that's different. Not the Netherlands. Yes, it's us. We're the weird ones, definitely. But it is literally just that far away. An hour by plane. If the sea wasn't there, you could drive it in 2.5 hours. That's how close we are. Yes, you do have a maritime climate, but of course you're not completely surrounded by water. So there's parts of Netherlands which is completely inland and not affected by it, which I think is probably why you've got that difference in temperature and weather between where you are and where Enschede and places like that are, and the likes of Rotterdam and Amsterdam, Volendam, all in places. Slightly different, just by a good 4 or 5 degrees, but it makes all the difference. Yeah, phenomena. Do 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 do. It is warm though. It's really warm tonight. It wasn't too bad this morning when I took Jess to where did I take her? College. It was today, college, yeah. Took her there this morning. I had to have my sunglasses on all the way. Windows open, tunes blaring. It was very nice. Although it became a little bit overcast. I had to take my dad to go and see the mechanic about his car earlier on. That was the picture that I put on Instagram earlier when I was in the car. A little picture. Pretty overcast, but it was still warm. So it makes it feel as though decent weather is not too far away, apart from the fact that it is going to rain every single day for the next 8-9 days. Yeah, it depends if the wind comes via the southeast, the west or the north. Of course, anything that comes from the south is going to be warmer because it comes through Africa and the Sahara Desert, which is why cars get covered in sand. Southwest warm. North, northeast, freezing bloody cold because it comes from the Arctic Circle or comes flying in over the Urals. Horrific stuff. West and north is North Sea weather, yeah. The North Sea, considering it's only a small, shallow sea, it is a horrific sea to be on. It gets so choppy and so nasty. Freezing cold as well. That's why I felt sorry for all those people in the Herald of Free Enterprise, the ferry that sank in 1987. We were going back and forth between Hull and Rotterdam for 3 years. And looking at it, it was like a couple of years after we come home, so that could have been us. I would hate to have been stuck in the North Sea. Absolutely horrific. So if on your west coast, it's the Atlantic Ocean and the water is cold and semi-desert. East coast, fed by the Indian Ocean. Yep, much like the Indian subcontinent. That's where you'll end up. That's the reason why South Africa is such a vibrant place. Whenever you've got hot water from somewhere and cold water from somewhere coming together and mixing in the same way that we get it off the coasts of Scotland and things like that, Arctic water mixing with the Gulf Stream, the cold is forced down, the warm comes up, drags all the nutrients with it, and it starts a feeding frenzy. So because there's a feeding frenzy, there'll be plankton and things like that. The little things eat the smaller things, the bigger things eat the smaller things, and it goes all the way up to whales and what have you. So it's, that'd be the reason why South Africa is particularly well known for its orca and its sharks, because the food chain is so huge, starting with the hot and cold waters. Brilliant. Also gets winds coming in from Antarctica. Bloody hell, yeah. That's a nice mixture. Yeah, the North Sea is so nasty because it's shallow. If it wasn't, it'd be more rolling, whereas there's nothing, nowhere for it to dissipate. The strength of the waves just stays there constantly. I've been on there a few times where it's been a very, very rough crossing. Again, that far away on the map, 13 hours overnight from Hull to Rotterdam, having to go north and then back down. Absolutely horrific. But an experience. And one of the ships we used to get the Norland was on Only Fools and Horses to Hull and back, where they went to Amsterdam to smuggle diamonds. It was lovely watching that. I recognised that ship. I've been on that one, the Norland and the North Star. Two rather good ships, and I didn't realise that they'd gone to the Falklands as part of the thing. What do they call it? The task force. They'd been taken by the Navy and used in the task force and went all the way down to the Falklands and saw active service. Obviously, they never had guns attached to them or anything, but I didn't realise until years later that ship that I'd been on had been in the Falklands. Weird weather over in North Wales as well. Bright sun or raining all day. And we wonder why our green and pleasant land is green and pleasant. It's because it's either sunny or raining, or a mixture of both. Bloody hell, North Wales looks amazing, looks very green. Everyone goes on about Ireland all the time, but have a look at North Wales especially. Very, very green, very nice. South Africa has many different climates, especially because of where it is, and there's nothing else near it. You have literally got an ocean one side, an ocean the other side, Antarctica below you. And I suppose stuff coming from the north as well. If the wind's blowing the right direction, you get Saharan weather coming down from there too. Cape Town is a spot where those two ocean currents meet, which will be why it's such a great place to go spotting animals. I can imagine it's amazing there. People there smuggle diamonds from Kimberley, and is that Walvis Bay? It's covered by a heart at the moment. Oh, what's Kimberley done to get a diamond stole from her? Kimberley. The Sahara is much closer to us than it is to South Africa. It is. It's literally just south of North Africa, isn't it? So North Africa is very, very close to where we are. What are we thinking about a 3-hour flight? I know it was 4.5 hours to get to Tenerife, which is about level with the Sahara as well, isn't it? Yeah, every once in a while the wind comes from the south, it rains Sahara dust. Usually after you've washed your car, definitely. Exactly the same here. Only we also get that during the week anyway because we're right on the coast. So a lot of the rain that falls here has got sand in it from our beaches anyway. The Amazon rainforest couldn't exist as it does without the Sahara. Yep, absolutely right. The rains that are evaporated off the coast of Africa take with it lots of sand, goes up into the air, condenses, becomes rain clouds. They make their way because of the Coriolis effect all the way across to South America, where they rain on the Amazon and fertilise the soils. That's the earth working perfectly in its own balance, and then we come along and ruin everything. If it was left to its own devices, the world would keep on going beautifully. It would go into deep freeze occasionally, it would get really hot occasionally, but most of the time it'd be nice and gentle. We just fuck it up. The Hope Diamond comes from Kimberley. Still has the world's largest open pit diamond mine, does it, Saf? Bloody hell. Is it Jupiter, where it rains diamonds? Do you reckon there's that much pressure and wherever it is that is supposed to rain is crushed into diamonds? So if you manage to get there and have a look up, well, it'd be horrible and painful, but yeah, it rains diamonds or diamonds. It rains diamonds. And the Cullinan diamond comes from Kimberley. Is the Hope diamond the biggest in the world, or is that still a Koh-i-Noor? Yeah, diamonds shouldn't be that expensive. We can just make them by putting a lot of pressure on carbon. You can make, not diamonds, but what do they call it? There's a name for it. Home farmed diamonds. But yeah, they shouldn't be, should they? Mind you, water shouldn't be expensive either, could it? Because it keeps on falling from the sky, so yeah, it costs you a fortune to get your water into your bloody house then. If it rains diamonds, does she have diamonds on the soles of her shoes, of her feet? Yes, as Paul Simon once sang, diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Be a bastard that though, wouldn't it? Wiping your feet before you come in and ripping the mat to absolute ribbons. I need a school pop up in the corner. Is this when we're having lessons? When we're teaching you people, teaching you things, teaching you people. Oh my word! Lack of sleep, cold, ruins me head. They make synthetic rubies for the watch industries, do they? Ah, I did not know that. Very painful. Isn't one asteroid also made of platinum? Yeah, I would have thought everything that's out there, anything that we can think of, any element will be out there in the in that firmament. Should we call it the firmament in the universe? Jinxie, how you doing? Quit yapping and man up. I'm not yapping, honest. Or is that going back to the dogging, is it? They'd mesh your floor in up the wood. Anyone who's got tiles as well, imagine walking in with that. Oh man, the noise would be horrific. But yeah, asteroids will be made of heavy elements, so there'll be platinum ones, there'll be gold, there'll be all kinds of things. Every element in the universe was created by an explosion of a star. And all those small elements, the light elements, smashed together to make heavier and heavier and heavier elements. So if you did go out there with a red dwarf Jupiter mining core ship, like the sitcom Red Dwarf, you could go and mine asteroids for very, very valuable materials. But if you went and mined that much of them, would they be valuable anymore? Because isn't gold and stuff valuable because it is scarce? It's rare. Sorry, it's rare and scarce. If you got too much of it, it wouldn't be rare anymore, it wouldn't be scarce, it wouldn't be worth as much. Maybe that's why they don't do it. If the asteroids are made of heavy metal, is that where Iron Maiden came from? Well and truly, absolutely. They came from outer space. We all came from outer space. We're all made of stardust, man. That's when you turn into a proper hippie. We're all made of stardust, man. We are. Every element that makes us up came from a star exploding. And when you think to yourself, that's absolutely amazing. Absolutely incredible. How rare that is. So, well, yeah, but it also makes Tories, so it's not that fucking good, is it? Gold is formed in the core of stars. It is. It's down to the elements smashing into each other and getting pressurised, and until more and more heavy elements are created. Which is why when the star explodes, all the stuff that was formed in the core of the star is then released. And that's how we end up with the stuff that we do. That's how we end up with asteroids made entirely of platinum. People who told us that we're tripping on stardust, man. They were right though. Don't suppose too many of them realised they were right. They might have thought they were right, and then years later, oh, by the way, you were right. Really? I was off me box. Oh, I've got another button. Except it's not a button, but it is a button. It's showing the amount of live people watching. Well, the amount of people watching live, sorry, not live people watching. I would presume everyone who's watching would be live. Unless you're Weekend at Bernie and someone. This conversation is too intelligent for you, Jinxie. Right, alright. We can talk about swinging dicks in Belfast clubs if that's going to help you out any. It's never too intelligent for you. Don't be daft. This is how we enlighten people. We drag everyone together. All as one. Yeah, Carl Sagan, hydrogen and helium are where the building blocks of all other life, all the elements begin. They're the two lightest. When you smash them together, you start getting heavier and heavier elements. Yeah. And of course, two hydrogen elements and one oxygen element makes water. So just like that, adding little bits together, and it gives us life. We are a mainly carbon-based life form, reliant on water. So all these elements that came from the stars, beginning with hydrogen and helium, that's where it started and that's where we are. Hydrogen is also the most abundant element in the universe. We can use that to make clean energy. We can have cars with hydrogen fuel tanks in them. You fill it with liquid, pressurised liquid hydrogen. It drives like a normal car, and out the back of it, all you get is water that comes out. Completely clean. But of course, we decided to go in on electric cars because the people who own the power plants make money off it. So the governments are all putting the cash behind it, rather than something that's completely clean and completely abundant. Fuckers. The gravitational pressure caused it to change. Yeah, it's all about gravity, man. Gravity. It's heavy, mate. Gravity. As another oxygen molecule, you've got something completely different, yeah. Man, you talk to yourself when it's football. It's just... Shall I put a Brian Cox face in the corner? No, I don't want Cox on my screen, really, do I? Yeah. Hydrogen gas is difficult to transport, but... yeah, lots of loss during the transport of it. That's something that they should have been working on. How do you do it without losing so much? Instead of saying, like, keep throwing money at people to make electric cars, when even the people that are making electric cars have stopped making electric cars because they're no bloody good. Know what I mean? Jackie, you going to pick your nose out of a catalogue like Michael Jackson? Oh, I'll have that one. Neil deGrasse Tyson, hydrogen is always attached to other elements, and separating them is the biggest cost factor. It is. But again, this is where the money should have been spent. Working ways of sorting that part out, the transportation part. Instead, we give millions, if not billions, to companies to develop electric cars, and all of them, absolutely every one of them, has stopped making electric cars. All electric. Lots of them are still making hybrids because that's the only way you can make something that's worthwhile. Something that people will want to buy, because if your battery runs dead and you've got petrol in the car, you can still drive it to a petrol station. You know what I mean? If the money was spent there, Shell, BP and Exxon wouldn't be rich anymore. Which is why it's not spent there, because they're the people that actually run governments. Them, the Koch brothers, them people, Coke, K-O-C-H, by the way, not Coca-Cola. They're the ones who run the government. They say what to do and everyone jumps, says how high. Yes. Bastardos. Cocks on screen, yep. Keeping off of the OnlyFans. If I do that, I'll have to put the zoom back on the camera though, unfortunately. Well, it has been cold. What I could do is get really, really confusing. And then, instead of putting Professor Brian Cox on the screen, I can put the actor Brian Cox. And if anyone is watching who's actually intelligent, they'll be completely and utterly confused. Like most people. Ah, cheers, Mandy. That's not patronising at all, is it? Bless him. Oh. What's that joke? It's only a little, but I've got 15 stone behind it. Something you know. Jackie, there's always something you know. We've got loads of stuff that everybody knows. That's the good thing about this particular stream, is that there's all kinds. You can learn all kinds of stuff. You know the two Brian Cox. Yep. One, of course, is the former keyboard player with D-Ream. One comes from Northern Ireland. I'm presuming it's Brian Cox who comes from Northern Ireland, as opposed from Brian Cox. Lots of good stuff comes from Northern Ireland. We know that to be true, including the legend that is Fergal Sharkey. I would like to apologise to him as well now. If he's watching, I know he's watching, he must be watching. Because he used to be in the Undertones, which is one of my favourite bands growing up. And then he turned into Fergal Sharkey, the lounge singer, with the big head of Timothy hair on him. And I used to get really upset by that. But now he's turned into someone who cares about the environment and a thoroughly decent bloke. So, a good heart these days. I'll forgive you, Fergal, because you have indeed got a good heart, mate. Professor comes from Northern Ireland, does he? I thought he was from Oldham. What's the best way to Oldham? Like that. Oh, that's sod it, I'm having a bad joke, that one. Jeez, it worked. That's why he's decent, is it? Because he's from Northern Ireland. Maybe that's what things can only get better meant. He was born in Northern Ireland and decided to move to England, so things could only get better. I'm only joking, I love Northern Ireland. I miss Belfast. Those trips were great, I used to love them. Fantastic trips. The first one, we needed to go to Belfast. I was like, oh no, I don't want to go. The second time, do you fancy going to Belfast? Yeah, before they even got to the word out, do you fancy going to Belfast? Yeah, go on. I'll be there. Brilliant. Loved it. About 15 minutes in a plane getting back home as well. It was mad. There was a problem with the pricing of Gillette products in South Africa. So the retailers decided to boycott them. Oh, no. Procter & Gamble, who own Gillette, stopped selling their other products. And the boycott ended swiftly. When you put pressure on them, it works. He probably is, you don't know really. We'll accept it as fact anyway. Don't matter. Yeah, that joke, and it worked. That joke actually worked. I'm not gonna say things too early because I've said this before, haven't I, in the past, everything's working perfectly. And then I've pressed the button 27 times and nothing's happened. And then Jeff's allowed stuff to happen and it's not worked and it's ruined everything. And I've cried myself to sleep at night and it's all Jeff's fault. But it's mad. Every single button on both stream decks was full. Now, there's half. And I've got twice as many things I'm able to do. It's crazy. I'm learning all the time. Every time I have to uninstall OBS or reinstall it or install it onto a different system. I'm learning something. Isn't that the thing? Isn't that what we're supposed to do? If all else fails, did you learn something? Yes, I did. Razor blades are so expensive. Why is this? I can answer that one for you, Jackie. It's because the companies are thieving bastards. That's why. Why is there a large gap between Ireland and Northern Ireland? There's no. It's a little red line. I've seen it on a map. Adam, how you doing, mate? And why are lady razors twice the price and half as good? No idea. Do women actually use lady razors? Because as far as I could recall, it was my razor that was constantly used on legs. The legs of someone that was mentioned earlier on. Is it because they're funny shaped and pink? No, hang on, let's not go there. Is it because the razors are a funny shape and different colours? To make it look a bit more, I don't know, feminine? Some men buy razors, yeah. How do you just go and buy men's razors? Men's razors should be called racksots. I think that sounds a much better thing, to be honest with you. I like that. Yet they are stupidly expensive, aren't they? I know there must be all kinds of research and development costs involved, but at what point do they stop? How many blades is too many? Can we stop at 4? We're going to have a 9-bladed fucking razor. Can you just not charge double for a 9-bladed razor? Give me a 4-bladed and charge me the normal price. Or if you're going to start doing research and development, pay for it yourself. There is convenience and half the price. Stick with the male stuff. Yep. Yes, man, you don't pay for something. Don't pay more for something just because it's pink. Definitely not. Are the people actually fall for that though? And when I say people, are the women? Yeah, Kirsty, buy the ones for men because they do what they're supposed to do, which is remove hair. Ja, har du frugal Nederlander. George Galloway and the UK Workers' Party. That George Galloway just wanted a way back into Parliament. Obviously, that's why he's kept going all around the country trying to get in anywhere. And the reason why he got in Rochdale is because it was a bit of a protest vote by people saying, doesn't matter if you're Labour or Conservative, you're exactly the same, we've had enough. Start listening to people when it comes to the likes of Gaza, Palestine, Israel. So I don't think anyone's got to worry about the UK Workers' Party or George Galloway. Because when it comes to the next election, I don't think he'll be in again. I think someone else will be in, and it'll just be, we warned you, we warned you. Greens might get into something next time, you never know. Lib Dems even. Yeah, those blades want to moisturise and protect, just cut the hair. Absolutely. Not that, obviously, I shave very often, but I did. Was it Sunday? Just the sides and what have you, and the underneath. When I say the underneath, what I mean is the... I don't like shaving too often because it rips my face apart. Lil's best for you. Is that Lil? Is that a brand of something, or do you like little things? Is that what that means? Mentioned him to a Labour voting mate and he called him a toxic. Yep. There's a hell of a lot of hate going on. People in Labour don't like him. People in Conservatives don't like him. Nobody likes him. But again, it was a protest vote specifically by the people of Rochdale, and all those in the so-called red wall that became the blue wall under Boris Johnson. You'll see a lot more of those tactical votes and protest votes going in because they've had enough. They were promised all kinds of stuff by the Conservatives. Never worked. They were taken for granted by the Labour politicians. That won't happen again. Liverpool might change this time round. It's been a Labour city for decades and decades, but they might lose it this time because they will not listen to what people actually want. Fuckers. No one wants the NHS sold off. People should not be going bankrupt because they've had a baby and stuff like that, like you do in the States. Yes, Mandy. George Galloway, if you ask 99 out of 100 people will say Big Brother cat scene, which doesn't speak volumes for his political acumen or ability, does it? Yes, Jackie, yeah, glad we're not eating reading that. Adam, same thing, mate. No idea who to vote for. It would be an independent vote, not to waste it. I would like, if the Greens had anything about them, they should be able to come in and start sweeping up votes left, right and centre. We are the disenfranchised once more. Saf, George Galloway is a politician. And Jordan, he was in Celebrity Big Brother and he dressed up as a cat and was licking milk out of a bowl and going meow meow and absolutely beneath contempt. Google it or YouTube. Has to be watched to be believed from someone who is a politician who can stand up in Parliament and start giving speeches about morality and doing the right thing when all the people around him are just going meow meow. Right. Yes, Kirsty, send the link. It's got to be seen to be believed, mate. It really has. Hadariki voted Volt last election. Just put your dime into the conversation. I've got a Volt thing. Yeah, what's it called? What the fuck now? My brain's gone today completely. An audio interface is called a Volt. A Volt one. Up the Volt. Tories no, because they've lost the plot. To be fair, they've never had the plot apart from to take the money off as many people as possible and hand it to their mates. It's just the way they've been all the time, isn't it? Why is Rishi Prime Minister, Richard and the Queen, unless he's doing dirty deals? I would suggest that someone who's a billionaire or of a family who are billionaires doesn't need to be working unless what they're doing is furthering their own interests. Which is why Infosys, the company owned by his father-in-law, in which his wife has got lots of shares, keeps winning government tenders to produce, I don't know, is it the North Sea oil and gas drilling. All of a sudden, they were involved and it was granted, and straight away overnight they got like an extra £2 billion or something in shares. It was just ridiculous. It's insider trading is what it is, really. But because this particular government, or this last 2 or 3 governments, are completely morally corrupt, nothing will ever be done about it. The mafia are looking at the Conservatives at the moment thinking, geez, that's a bit on the ball, isn't it? We wouldn't even do that. Lib Dem because no. Yep, exactly. You don't get to vote Labour or Conservative in Northern Ireland, no. Green, no, you've got no intention of wearing clogs, eating hummus and keeping warm in the winter by having a tramp breathe on you. That's not just the Greens. Greens aren't just that. They also have very nice twin sets. I've seen some of the ladies that wear for Greens have very nice twin sets. All you need is the pearls to go with them and they look fantastic. Plaid, no. Is it not plaid? Is it plaid? Sorry, plaid. Plaid Cymru. You're not a Welsh nationalist. You don't go around burning down the cottages of the bastard English. Not one of the sons of Glendower. You've got DUP or Sinn Féin over in Ireland, yet one or t'other. Right, Kirsty, you sent the link. Watch it. It's fantastic. Yeah, I had a week I seen that 26 parties in the last national election. It's funny trying to explain this to some people. When I say some people, particularly Americans, with the two-party system that they have over there, trying to explain that it's not just, we haven't just got Labour and Conservatives here. There's more parties than that. But also, if you go around Europe, there are places that have got tons of parties. It's not just a bipartisan system. And a lot of them just don't get it at all. What do you mean? It's not just two parties or not a handful of parties. Nah, mate. You can start a party if you wish, a political party. Get enough people behind you and you can start going into elections. Simple as that. They're all stealing feckers. They are. Absolutely. Corrupt give themselves yet another pay rise, up to £90,000 a year. To put the MPs in this country. They all have second and third jobs and they're all still on the take. At what point is enough not enough? Why are they still on expenses, getting paper clips and wreaths? You go into like Remembrance Sunday, they'll buy a wreath and then put it through on expenses. Have you not got enough money that you can afford to pay for it yourself? Everyone to go with Jeremy Corbyn, but he was the one that had the least expenses out of every MP for so many years. I said, well, I get paid enough, and if I need to buy something, I'll buy it. Why are the rest of them not the same? And yet they'll be on there going, it's a waste of taxpayers' money feeding people. What do you mean? Well, in that case, get rid of the subsidised meals in the House of Commons and what have you. Bastardos. Yeah, run as an independent. Get out there, do it. Stand up in the Senate and start giving it loads. Fucking you lying bastards. My mum and my sister said that to me plenty of times. Why don't you get involved in politics? So because I'm intelligent and I've got a temper. I wouldn't want to be one of them. Bastards. That's why you still don't have a government. There's still no coalition formed. Not enough people managing to get together to form one, so it'll just go on and on and on. Yeah. Allow free trade. That's part of the problem. Save the NHS, allow free trade. We're being promised things that you can't possibly do. This free trade thing is a load of shit. When they said we're going to leave the EU and then we can go back and start negotiating individual deals. You can't negotiate individual deals with a trading bloc. But we'll go and speak to the Dutch. Will like to buy loads of stuff off us. No, they're part of a bloc. You negotiate with the bloc and everyone has a veto on what happens. So, no, we can go and do this. Go and do it on world trade tariffs, which is worse than anything else. We're sold a lie. Square pegs for round holes that can't possibly work. They're all just liars. Centrists, I don't understand centrism at all. I really don't. I don't see how you can be a part of one and the other. You're either left or right for me. I don't know. I can't work it out. Speaking to some centrists on Twitter, so do you actually have any opinion of your own? What do you want to do? Do you want to privatise everything? Or do you want to nationalise everything? Because you can't do both. If you want to bring it back into national hands and then start selling some bits off, it's just as bad. It's mad. Ali, how you doing? How's things? Nice to see you. Nice. Yeah, lost loads of income too for Brexit. Britain was a much bigger trading partner. Yeah. I've got a friend who works in Rotterdam on the port. Works for an exporter. Exports all around the world. Used to export a hell of a lot of stuff to the UK, and they just stopped doing it because it's too intensive, too labour intensive, too much money. Just stupid. We've shot ourselves in the foot and we've also shot loads of other people as we go along with it. Big believer in countries farming foods for themselves. Fishermen fishing for the country. Rebuild the north for steel and cars. Reinvigorate all the ports. Doesn't work. We haven't got the climate or the amount of space that we'd need, not only to produce the goods but also to store them. Fishermen, they could fish for the country, but what they did instead is they sold off their quotas to other countries, which is why we can't now go out and fish, because the Spanish own them or the Icelandics and the Nordics own them, because it was sold off because of money, because people are thieving bastards. The north for steel and cars would work, only the government don't like the north and they want to see us all die. So, the ports don't need to be reinvigorated. This idea of free ports is just a money grab, as Tees is showing you. We had free ports while we were in the EU. Liverpool used to be a free port. It's stupid. The ports are not going to work because what's going to come into the country, into the ports? It's only going to be stuff that would then go on to the rest of Europe, and we can't because we're not in the EU. So if we did go back into the EU, it would end up being possibly something we could do. End livestock farming in the country because it does hardly contribute to the state income and causes so much pollution. Yeah. Right, Adam, you work for the department. You'll know what land is available. When it's available, do you mean it's actually available or it is potentially available? Because 1.2% of the UK is taken up by houses. 2.1% is taken up by golf courses. So in theory, there's loads of space, but there's not. The climate is definitely not good enough to be able to grow some stuff that we'd like to. So it's on its arse, to be honest with you. Oh, hang on.
It's going up, 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 it's there.
Now, doing well in. Levelled up. Could use the land that becomes available to build houses above sea level instead of in the polders, making it more safe in the future. Everything that happens like that has to involve money going into the pockets of the politicians and their friends. Nobody is ever going to do anything in any country in the West unless it benefits the people that pay them. So it's a load of shite. Politics and astronomy so far. Up the workers. Yep, Ali. Repping the squad. Yeah, you're exporting 90% of what you produce, and it seriously affects your environment and health. It is. I've seen the places that's like massive greenhouse on an industrial scale. Obviously, industrial scale. The same as in Spain, same kind of things. Just greenhouses as far as the eye can see. Growing food and products that then get exported. You don't see any benefit from it whatsoever. The money will not go back into the country, it will go back into certain parts of it. It's fucking mad, isn't it? Everywhere, it's all down to people putting money in their own pockets, and it's stupid. It shouldn't be. We should be looking after the people that live in the country. The livestock and pollution. Pollution is caused by loads of things. Livestock will have some involved as well. They'll have to, because everything does. Apart from going for a walk, and even that probably does because you breathe out CO2. 14th of April, D-Day for 5k. We haven't had the bot chat here, have we? That, I think, depending on how far in are we, that should be allowed. It should be allowed. That should come up any second now, I think. The bot chat should, if I was on time. It normally happens after an hour. Keep an eye out. Don't make me have to press another button, because I will press buttons. Clips will happen soon. or you've lost 80% of your native species. You'll always lose native species when you start using land that they live on to do other things, whether it's houses or farming or anything. You will always lose species, unfortunately. That's why we should end up, there should be loads more rewilding. Yeah, Adam, I agree with that. Regenerative farming, rewilding and farming animals in a traditional way. That would work wonders, not the way it's working at the moment. We need to do something about rewilding. When you have a look at what the UK looks like, it doesn't look like what it should do. Only the furthest part of northern Scotland is part of the taiga, where it should be most of Scotland and quite a bit of northern England, I would have thought. So we need a lot more trees, a lot more stuff like that, rather than just hills, have bleeding trees on there. Yeah, how's Lego and Arvin? Species are lost because of the ammonia pollution. Again, that's it. But there's laws over in this country about what you can and can't use on crops, and yet for some reason they're still using stuff that you're not supposed to be able to use. Farmers are still getting away with doing it. Not all. I think some are decent, but there are enough of them that are doing it and having like chicken shite going into rivers, which is killing rivers off. It's ridiculous. Deep asleep. Yeah, nothing's come up, has it? I reckon Botrix is having a shift fit, to be honest. Oh well. I'll just check the timers. It should be there, it should be there. Mandy's rewilding her garden. That's a start. Everyone should be doing that. Do our bit. You'll be delighted when it's done, Ali. I bet you will. And you are rewilding by not weeding. I like that. That's putting a good spin on it, that one. Yeah. Thought glyphosate was illegal, but in England it's not. They still spray all the wheat with it. This is what I mean about half the stuff that they should and shouldn't be spraying on things. Stuff that they shouldn't be, in some places are, and if they're getting round it, I don't know how they're managing to. Or things that we think shouldn't be sprayed, they go into court and say, no, they should be allowed to do it. It'll kill off bees every 5 seconds, but let them allowed to do it because it's easier for the farmers. I'm sure farmers don't want to kill the country that they live in either. It's just fucking mad, isn't it? Yeah, Mandy's native plant garden. I'd like to be able to do that as well, if I could. We don't have a very, very wild back garden, unfortunately. Not remotely wild. There you go, there he is. It's Frothy Man. Eventually he popped up. Haruki, you were gifted a second-hand beehive by a patient yesterday. You're going to put it in your garden? Good. Poor bees, we need more of them. Ali, Jackie, yep. People pass you, you don't care, just have your music playing and do your own thing. Exactly how you should do. As long as you're doing your own thing and getting out and about. I would quite happily join you, but I can barely walk. Your seed bombs are bee friendly, does that count? It does. Anything where you're looking after the environment around you. I think we should do that. Jackie, you've also got the bee, insect and butterfly friendly plants in pots. Good stuff. Go look after the place where we live, man. Frothy, that was that was an advert for, was it Cresta Pops back in the 70s or 80s? A panda bear going, "It's frothy, man." Ali, how am I feeling? I do sound a bit better. It's lifting, the cold is lifting, it hasn't gone completely. But I think that's down to a little bit of asthma, hay fever, and the cold at the same time. Yeah, I'm just still absolutely exhausted, unfortunately. I managed to sleep loads over the weekend, and then as soon as the week come back round, that's it. Awake too early. Yeah, frothy, of course, means the head on a beer is froth. The foam. That's froth. That's what frothy means. Foamy. We're putting stuff in our water too. Unfortunately, it's sewage. Yes, it is. That come out today, didn't it? An extra 4 million hours of sewage being pumped out into the native waterways and seas around the UK. It is absolutely disgusting. We are killing the rivers. And once you kill the rivers, the fish die. The things that eat the fish die. The things that eat the things that eat the fish die. We have absolute sociopaths in government. Absolute sociopaths, they're horrible. You've 4 species of bees in your garden. Only 2 are social bees and produce honey. Apis mellifera capensis and Apis mellifera scutellata. Right? I did not know that. What are the other 2 bees like? If they don't produce honey, what do they do? Not killer bees, are they? African killer bees. Absolutely, Ali. Funnily enough, I went to the doctors last week. I said, I'm starting to get a little bit hard of hearing. But oh yeah, what are the symptoms? I said, the yellow family from Springfield. Not too many lemsips. No. I've been alright. I've followed the instructions to the letter. I had one before I started this as well. I will have one before I go to bed, but one when I wake up. Things to do, Adam. No worries, mate. Nice to see you in here. Mic drop. And off. No worries. Yes, sorry, Mandy. That was a piss poor joke, wasn't it? That's what we're here for, though, aren't we? It's not just cocks on the screen. It's also dad jokes. By the way, to anyone who's late and wonders what I'm on about, talking about not just cocks on the screen, that's Brian Cox, both the professor and the actor. There's 2 of them. Oh, it's still bloody warm. Isn't it warm? Isn't it warm? Very warm. It's a good sign though. I had my shorts on the other day, all day. Yeah, add him off to design a campaign poster. Make sure you vote for him. Plaid Coffee. Couldn't do any bloody worse, could he? I hate how bad the politicians are in this country. Even back in the 70s and 80s, if I didn't like the opposition at all for their idea on how the world should be run, at least I could have some respect for them as people of intellect. Just because some of the most ridiculously unintelligent imbeciles nowadays. Ali, you hate lemsips, they're brilliant. Oh, I love them. Sod the capsules. Lemony drink, very tart, very tart. The other bees spread the word. I see. politicians seem bad at everything they do. It's because we are voting for idiots. I mean, even the people over here, they all go to Eton, and it's proof that an expensive education is not necessarily a good education. They can quote Latin, they can talk about the classics, they can discuss art, and yet when you're trying to explain to them that a unmarried mum of 3 can't survive on what they're giving them, and they also can't get out and get a job. I mean, I love this one. Well, go out and get a job. Well, I've got a couple of kids. Put them in childcare. Childcare is now so expensive that it would cost more than the job to put them in childcare. And it's all your fault for letting it get to this stage. We've had loads of them on the radio lately saying that £100,000 is chicken feed. It's not a lot of money at all. The same ones who are telling you £60 a week is too much and we can't afford it as a nation. Fuckers. Heartless, that's all they are. The professor from Oldham, yes. That's the man. It's Baltic over in Ireland. It's very warm here. Warm as balls. Second was the last resort. Yeah, people voting populist. No more taxes, no more healthcare. Free houses and, yeah. Not aware how to pay for it. All that stuff, it can be paid for. But here's the thing, and this is the reason why it'll never work. To pay for it, you would have to tax billionaires. And the billionaires don't want to pay tax. So if we live in a world where things are paid for by taxes, then everyone should pay their taxes. You can't have a world without taxes, unfortunately, because it just doesn't work. You can see that by the fact if you go out and try and drive in the UK, you will smash your car to pieces. Even though we pay tax, none of the money's getting spent on the roads. And that's their job, is to spend it on the fucking roads. Left-handed typing again. Draki moves onto your right arm. Knows exactly where he feels comfy. Jack Frost's going to appear tonight. Is that cold? Really? How's it that cold over there? Taxing the most wealthy is a solution for a lot of problems. It is, because they don't pay any. Just pay some. Doesn't have to be ridiculous. What? Yes, I'm on a live. I'm on a live stream, and not just that, but also my phone's just gone off playing the Stone Roses, so I'm probably going to get a copyright strike on this as well now. What do you want? How much? Right, I'll do it now. Yes, well, the chat is saying hello again. Hello, chat, says the child. The child is on a drive again. Right, well, piss off and I'll put some money in your bank. Cheers, boss. Right, go on, go away. I don't like you. I don't like you either. I only pretend to like you because I might need a kidney one day and I'll go and piss off. But you're not getting a kidney off me anymore. I'm joking. Your ma. On toast. Bizzle. See you later. Right, wonderful. Copyright strike as well, on top of everything else. Fantastic. That's why I have it on silent. You're using the cold as an excuse for not pruning. Is that a euphemism, is it? Jess says hi as well, by the way. Gonna call it a night. No worries, Saf. You've done longer than I thought you would do, mate. You go and get your head down, mate. Hopefully get a decent night's kip and you should be okay. Welterusten. Tot ziens. If you ring, will you give us money as well? Yes. More Oprah Winfrey like... sorry. Confirm. Yes, more Oprah Winfrey altruism going on. Not only am I buying everyone a car, you can also have free cash. Hang on. Put it back on silent. You would use a new car? Yes. I'll sort you out another one. One with a large boot, an estate car they can fit bales of hay in the back of. Heated seats, heated steering wheel. I remember these things. Ali, yeah, you can have money too as well. Just don't call me Da. I already feel old enough as it is. Considering my daughter turns 18 on Monday. She said to me earlier on when I picked her up, Dad, does life really go that quickly when you get as old as you? Yes, it does actually. It really does. Going to the garage company Friday to fix the engine light that's been burning for 2 months. Be thankful you have an engine light. The people that sold me my car removed the light. And it was only when the mechanic from the garage that I go to said, oh, they've took the light out. The engine light should have been on for you. I ended up getting it fixed and everything sorted now, but yeah. Never normally cheap, is it, either, when it comes to stuff like that. Tub of ice cream and you're good. Kirsty, you're a star. Yes, on its way now. Hagen's ass. The scousest of all ice creams. Estimate about €800. Not good. Mine was just under £1,000 the other week. And I've got to go tomorrow and get more stuff done. And then my MOT on Tuesday as well. So, a few more quid, hopefully not too much, and I'll be absolutely 100%. Yeah, good luck, Harry, good luck. Bar of chocolate and you'll be grand. Uncle Nick. Ali, that sounds even worse. That sounds seedy as fuck, that lad. They can't call me Uncle Nick. But yeah, I'll send you a bar of chocolate. Only to be had after exercise, though. You still got peanuts in dark chocolate. Ooh, get on them. Love peanuts in chocolate. Right. She said she sent me a message before ringing, and it's guilt tripping me into sending money. It worked. Would I rather be called Grandad Nick? Not for a while yet, thank you very much. Anyway, I'm cool dad, aren't I? Cool dad off the telly. Fucking telly. Cool dad the YouTuber. Man, I cringe so much when I hear that. Are you a YouTuber? No. Have you got a YouTube channel? Yeah. Do you put videos on it? Yeah. Do you go live? Yeah. Well, then you're a YouTuber, aren't you? No. Fuck off, I'm not. It is expensive. Cars do not come cheap, unfortunately. Yeah. Lego's the reason you don't have a new car yet. Bad timing, but Lego, man. Go look after Lego. Yeah. €800 for a light to be fixed. Very, very expensive. Or just do what most people do and get a little bit of black tape and stick it over so you don't see it. Fixed. Brother Nick. That'll be when I finally go crazy and end up joining a monkhood. Is it a monk or brotherhood, isn't it, for monks? What the fuck's a monkhood? Stepdad. No, I think it's got a few connotations that these days, hasn't it? Anything step has got a few connotations. Yeah. The light is burning because there is a valve that needs to be replaced. The light wouldn't be an issue if the valve is going to cost a few quid, definitely. Or a few euro. Yeah. Vets do cost a fortune, as do mechanics. And when you've got both in the same sort of month or two, it's a bit too much, isn't it? Especially when you need your car, like you say. You're not cycling 65 kilometres to work. Be knackered by the time you get there. You'll be exhausted by the time you get home. Yep, car won't be approved for street use without the new valve, so it needs to be done. Otherwise, you don't get your MOT. It's the same thing we have here. It's called an MOT, which is mine's going for on Tuesday, and it should then give me another year of saying that I am roadworthy. It should do anyway. I've just spent a bloody fortune on it. I'll always be Ninja Nick to you. Cheers, Mandy. I could do with being a bit more ninja-fied, so I could sneak about unnoticed. Just disappear. Yeah, you could have bought multiple Legos if there were more of him. Nah, there's only one Lego. We know there's only one Lego. Oh. My breathing's still shit. Not good, is it? Even though I've been taking me brown inhaler. 2 puffs of a morning, 2 puffs of an evening. Full of steroids. It's not working. Love your fair babies. Yeah, it's the NCT. Yep. Are we getting clips tonight? Or I've moved things around, haven't I? One second. I knew there was something I forgot. I will have to very quickly add an audio input for Jeff, because so far there isn't one there. This will be just a second. Right, can you hear me? Very quickly, just let me know if you can hear me. Has that worked? Can hear me? Good, right. I told you there was something that would go wrong. Didn't I? Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? And you never believed me. Right, anyway. 710 splitters. Oh, that must be a Monty Python sketch, yeah. This is my stepladder. My real ladder left home when I was 348 years old. Really? Everest, mate. Nailed it. No bottled oxygen, no down suit, no problem. Is he having a go at me there? For the Everest motif that I'm using. Yep. I said there's going to be something go wrong. I have moved from a laptop to a PC, and I've had to physically reinstall or set up each scene individually, which is something I've had to do 3 times on 3 different laptops on one PC. But I did sort it quickly, and I'm going to have to sort it again on the next 2 that I go to, because I didn't do it on them either, did I? Because I'm a fucking idiot. A very Daniel moment. You'd be more impressed if Jeff reached the Mariana Trench bottom. We'll ask him to see if he's done that. Jackie, you're off, no worries. Nice to see you. To see you nice. You sleep well, and hopefully you see it again during the week. Or the end of the week. What day? It's Wednesday, isn't it? Fucking hell, these weeks just fly by. Absolutely fly by. Unfortunately, you can hear me. Love you too, Jackie. Cheers, mate. Evil. I thought I had a nice, soothing voice. Not one of those Scouse accents that could strip the chrome off metal, of which there are many. But yeah, when we get to Kippers and Horace, I will have to do the same thing again, I think. Very quickly. I know which mic it is that I'm putting through there now, so it'll be there. It'll be there. Don't know why it's done that though. So annoyed that it's added all kinds of mics when it shouldn't have done. Pain in the ass. I do have a nice and relaxing voice. Thank you. Thank you, Ali. I may be an idiot, but I'm your feckin' idiot. I am. I am the resident idiot. I'm glad to be of assistance. Everyone needs an idiot. I'm saving you the hassle of trying to find one online. But I was sat here earlier putting things together. I thought, have I done this right? Have I done that right? Yeah, I've done everything. I haven't missed a single thing. And of course, one of the main things is actually being heard. And yes, I didn't manage to do that because I am a feckin' idiot. We'll get there though. This has worked out as a very good problem solve. In as much as there's not been too many problems, and those that have come so far have been solved. The chat is on the screen. The sound is in the ears. That's something else I've done as well, haven't I? Oh, my little message. I made up my little message thing. I'm going to do that again, actually. Just press a button and it automatically goes. There you go. Come on, Botrix. For fuck's sake, wake up. I'm going to be able to do loads of buttons with different messages whenever I feel like I just bash one into the chat, so to speak. Probably loads of things I can do with Stream Deck that I haven't tried. There'd be loads of button pressing I could possibly do. Yeah, if the stream went perfect, you'd be worried. You would be. Well, I think this might be, touche the wood, this might be a better setup actually with the PC being a bit more powerful, having a specific graphics card, dedicated graphics card. Hopefully it'll all be fine, I think. Although I haven't checked on there. Stream health is excellent. Excellent. So what it's saying then is I was melting my laptop by streaming. Streaming such, I don't want to say, is it heavy? It's not really heavy, is it? Resource heavy. I don't even think it's resource heavy. There's a lot going on in these streams though. Probably more than a few other other streams that I've done in the past. I'm adding more and more all the time, but this seems to be holding up quite well. So I'm happy with that. Yes, aren't we all gobshites sometimes? Unfortunately, Ali, I am most of the time. And it is the charm of a live stream, had to be absolutely 100%. It wouldn't be the same if it was slick and completely professional, would it? I wouldn't like that. Yeah, as Dan says, not polished, but it shows you being yourself. It's exactly how it should be. What you see is what you get. Obviously, the less problems, the better. But if it does go tits up, then just that's the way it happens, isn't it? Plenty of them. And when you're on, I don't know how many streams he's done now. I'm on 60 odd. He must be over 100, well over 100. More than that. Hundreds and hundreds. If you did loads of them and something didn't go wrong, it would be an absolute miracle. Excellent health is always a good thing. I'll have to take your word for it, Hadouy. I can't remember the last time I had excellent health in anything, unfortunately. Not noticed any blurriness, so that's worked, yes. No freezing. I look quite hot. Only because the light there. Mind you, that's not pushing out much heat, that is it? Oh, the radiator's off. I've got a little fan on the back of the camera. What else? I'm taking all kinds of precautions to make sure this thing works well. I'm still freezing on your TV, but you think you've got a dodgy cable. Sort it out, Mandy. Sort it out. Oh, there we go. How do we level up to level 19?
It's going up, 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 it's there.
Fantastic. 2 levels up in one stream. Fantastic, as I think the Belgians say. Why not the French? Why the Belgians? Because Belgium played last night and it's just on my mind, that's why. Did anybody see that yesterday? England against Belgium. Sorry about this, Mandy. You might be interested in this though. The Belgians are playing in a brand new away kit, which is blue top, brown shorts and white socks. And it is because it's the same colours as Tintin wears. So it's in honour of Tintin. Do you not think that's interesting? Loyalty. Where's your levelly up bot? The light with the motion sensor in your garden keeps going on. Does that mean there's animals out there? Bot is being mean again. Oh, Mr. Belgians. They're not hard to miss. But it's a really good kit. Genuinely, it looks like the Tintin colours. His blue jumper, his brown trousers and his white socks. Controversial England kit. Sorry, Mandy. Ball. It is very controversial. Because it's inclusive. It's got a flag on the back with the inclusive colours. And fat men with dogs tattooed on them don't like that. So they'd rather have the flag of St. George on the back of it while they throw patio furniture at bemused Europeans across plazas. Repulsive. It's just a kit, just a bloody flag on the back of it. Doesn't really matter. Does it say England on the front? Has it got the 3 lions? Stop bloody moaning. Slidey time. Is that slidey writing or I don't know? Have you got a water slide? Dutch keyboard sliding them. It's not windy, so someone is sneaking through your garden, ninja styley. It's not me. Look, I'm here. It's not me. It's more controversial for being 120 quid. Right, now. Not all kits are 120. There's two different types of shirt, two different types of kit. There's the replica, which I think is 75, which is still ridiculously expensive. There's also the, I can't remember what they call it, but the 120 is supposed to be the same as the kit that the actual team wear. It's made out of different fabric. Being someone who's got genuine football kit, the difference between what the professionals wear and what we buy out the shop is completely different. It's night and day. So the 120 is because you're buying the same as the actual footballers are wearing. It's a much better quality item. In the same way that, I don't know, buying a Toyota is cheaper than buying a Ferrari when you go buying cars. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what all the ninjas say. Right, you're onto me, unfortunately. Maybe I'm pre-recording this and preempting what you're going to say to me while I'm all the time I'm in your back garden. Swiss Jaarboek, makkelijk, past Spencer o'clock. A lot going on in that one as well. Have you got rabbits hopping around your garden? Well, it is Easter. Have you got them? They could be. Ninja rabbits. Could it be ninja rabbits? Could it be a bit of both, couldn't it? I suppose it could be anything, couldn't it? Doesn't take much to set off lights these days. Bats, birds, foxes. Spencer o'clock must be the no gig time. Yep. Spencer o'clock swisher. Oh, they're kind of eaten by the rest of the household. Right, so probably best that you don't see them in the back garden. Hoping for a hedgehog, but it's probably a neighbourhood cat. Neighbourhood cats don't care about where they go to, do they? Every one of them thinks there's some kind of royalty. Bloody cats coming over here. Anyway, we'll have to go somewhere else, so I'm going to have to add another microphone. I will be a second.
But Kipper's Vindaloo can't be good for you.
Did the audio play on that particular thing then as well? Or did that not work? I've got loads of stuff I need to check out. Anyway, here we go. North Korea TV censors Alan Titchmarsh's trousers. North Korea's state television channel has censored a BBC gardening programme by blaring out presenter Alan Titchmarsh's trousers. Central TV aired a 2010 edition of Alan Titchmarsh's Garden Secrets for its morning audience, but made sure that the viewers could not see his jeans. Wait till they see Charlie's dimmicks. Right, to those who don't understand that particular reference, Alan Titchmarsh used to do a programme on, I think it might have been BBC, and in it he had a helper called Charlie Dimmock, who was a lady who is known for a couple of particular things, a couple of particular outstanding things. She was rather busty and never wore a bra, so of course men of a certain age used to love watching that programme just to see Charlie Dimmock. So that's what that is. The audio on Dwarf worked. Thank you, Mandy. Fantastic. What is wrong with jeans? Yeah. More like what's in them. I didn't see that really. Is Is Alan, is he packing, is he? Is he stacked? Because he kept that one quiet. He doesn't look the type, does he? Looks quite mousy and librarian. They're probably the ones, aren't they, you know? Hung like a Grand National winner. What breed are your dogs? Tom asking. Never heard that breed, yeah. Lovely though. Mandy, you never looked. Yeah. Never looked, of course not. Never looked. You're going to go back and look now? Just in case. Now, it's a Finnish breed, rather new. There's still new lines added to broaden the genetics and prevent inbreeding. Legolas's granddad was a Swiss Shepherd. Right. Nice. Lego's Arvin's uncle. Nice to keep the family vibe going. The breeder is in Zagreb. That's a hell of a lot going on there. A Finnish breed in the Netherlands, and it's a Croatian breed. Hell of a lot going on there. That's the sign of a working Europe that we don't want to be part of, apparently. Feckin' Egypt. Dogs are boss, aren't they? You don't like the Dutch lines? That's fair enough. Get whatever makes you happy, I think. And obviously they do. That's why you went to Croatia. Fair enough, it's worth going. Yes, really hope that a Swiss Shepherd is a breed of dog, otherwise questions need to be asked. I mean, I know shepherds in Switzerland must get lonely at night, but you know. You've got to behave, haven't you? There's an English woman who breeds them. Ah, right. I think we English seem to be quite proactive in breeding animals, don't we? Dogs especially. Wonder why that is. Yeah. Gets lonely in the mountains of a night. Bit cheeky though, isn't it? In Wales, talking about animal husbandry with shepherds. Wales, of course, famous for that particular pastime. You know, women are great, but they're not like the real thing, are they? Says the shepherd. Sylvain and Tomaskin. Just no. Well, that's what the stories are. Isn't that why they wear baggy wellies? So you can put the back legs in there and they don't run away from you. Sure, that's what I've heard. Or you get them up to the edge of a cliff so they push back harder. That's why Welsh lamb's so tender. It's been thoroughly pounded beforehand. No? Not having this, are you, Mandy? Not having this at all. Should be coming around next week with the sons of Glendower to burn me house down. Don't piss off the Welsh. ways we get a gang together and come round and fuck you up, isn't it? Stop talking to me now. Scousers have a great reputation. Not. No, of course we don't. So we're brothers in arms, man. Us and the Welsh. We're very, very close-knit, aren't we? Half the Scousers are Welsh and half the Welsh are Scousers. There's a lot of cross-border raiding, I think, over the years. That's why we have our particular accent. Nottingham Boaterham. Now that is, I'd buy one of them. I don't know what's in it, but I would buy one of them. A Nottingham Boaterham. Instead of the Sheriff of Nottingham, the Sandwich of Nottingham. I would definitely buy one of them. Find out what's in one of them. I want one. Don't forget you're a trained archer. Shit, forgot about that. Damn. Well, get over to fucking Maryland. Teach them ring dinkers a thing or two. When they start pissing about on the ponies, giving it one of them, start picking them off. Speaking of Maryland, bloody hell, that boat that went into the bridge, bloody hell, that was rough, wasn't it? That could have been so much worse than it was. It was at 1:30 in the morning. Imagine that at rush hour, sort of morning or afternoon or something. Absolutely horrific. Larvicide. What? Isn't that the squashy stuff they put on condoms? Is that what that is? Watch out for the larvicide. Catherine Badult-Baccarai. Not sure you could get me from 30 miles though. That's 30 miles as the crow flies, by the way. Take you a lot longer to ride a horse this way. 30 miles, that's a hell of a distance for an archer, even one as accomplished as yourself. Although, I think you're in that direction. So if I lean back, I'm protected by the wardrobe. I knew there's a reason why I put myself in this position. North, south, southwestish, I think. Yeah, it was, wasn't it, Ali? Absolutely dreadful. How quickly the bridge come down. It was like it was made out of something that was designed to, as soon as it was hit, collapse. Like, look at the front of a car. It's designed to collapse into, absorb all the energy of the crash. Seemed to be like that. Bridges should not be coming down that quick. Although it might be down to, did they underspend on it? Depends on wind assistance, yes. And it could be pointing anywhere. Of course, you don't know. Although, hang on. Have I got a compass? Is there a compass? I have got a compass. See? I've no use to you whatsoever because you're supposed to look at it like that. There you go. North. I'm pointing directly north now. So that's that way. And Mandy is southwest of here, I think, which will be that direction. So yeah, I am pointing in the right direction. See? Evidence. Proof. Evidence. Imagine being on it. That would have been absolutely horrendous being on there. Like I say, if that was during real proper peak rush hour, it would have been awful. We could have been looking at hundreds, if not thousands, of people losing their life. So, thankful for small mercies, but the poor people that were on it, definitely going to have to investigate it. Had the ship been able to warn they'd lost control of it? I don't know. What can they do? Just beep the horns. Not much else they can do. I mean, it was built out of Lego. I think probably plastic bricks would have stood up better than what they built it out of. But yeah, horrific. Can't see it from that angle. Trust me, it's that way. They sent out a mayday. But even that, it could almost have happened so quickly. Yeah, built out of Lego, that explains the crappy leg, yeah. Oh. You were chatting with Lep from Leprechaun TV. They said apparently the ship had notified the Coast Guard and the police stopped traffic, but they couldn't get a tugboat out. Right, so it could have been a hell of a lot worse, and they managed to at least stop other people getting involved. Yeah, should have been closed down immediately. When it was being built, corners were obviously cut. Absolutely. It must have been. You can't have I know it's a massive ship that hit it. It's not as if it was doing 100 mile an hour. It's a huge ship, but it shouldn't be able to bring something down that quickly. There should be at least do some damage to it, and eventually it'll fall down. It's just crazy. There should have been bollards around the main legs. There should be. Look at the bridges that have been built over other rivers and things like that. I mean, we've got bridges here that have been open for hundreds of years. There's no way on earth they'd have gone down like that. And again, what is it? Is it down to saving money? Go for the cheapest option. Stuff like that shows you that if you're going to do something, an engineering project where people's lives are at stake, spend the money. Don't try and save it. Don't try and put it into the pockets of other people. Spend the best amount of money you can to get as safe as you can. It's horrific, that though. Video looked absolutely horrible. Poor people. There must be a huge amount of force when it's on the move, that ship, but also it is in water. So it is displacing a lot of weight. It's not the same as if it was on wheels, you know. It shouldn't have gone down as quick as it did. One little section of it, maybe the one where it hit, but not the rest of the bridge just collapsing. Mad. Yeah, the ship had engine failure, it wouldn't stop. There's just no stopping it. That's the problem with ships. Once they lose power, they're at the mercy of the elements or the currents or whatever. Lost power, so momentum alone took it forward. Yeah, ships always take a long time to stop. To turn as well, take a long time. Right, last one, and then I'm going to have to add another mic, aren't I? Hoo-yah! Because I'm a bloody idiot. Anyway, hottest haikus. Julian Assange, just one letter from being Mr. Arse Angel. Very, very true. Very wise. Right, Spencer and Daniel saying it could be a while before it's built back up again, and the other bridges in the area are not designed for all the traffic to go over it. So that's going to end up causing absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. Oh well, I think the way to look at it is it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Even though it's caused a lot of trouble, there could have been hundreds and hundreds of people. So I think that's one of those where I just look at it and think we've avoided what could have been an absolute catastrophe. Even if it costs hundreds of millions of dollars to sort out, just it needs to be done, and it needs to be built strong, and the other bridges in the area maybe need to be reinforced or rebuilt as well. You can't have traffic coming to a standstill just because one bridge stops working. Arvin is awake and started to vacuum the ground floor. In case you dropped a crumb. Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah, if only she'd vacuum all her hairs the way she vacuumed crumbs. There are tunnels too, but some vehicles aren't allowed in them. Right. Sure, I didn't know that. They were saying that, but even a ferry isn't something that they can do. A bit stuck then, aren't they, if that's the case? So something's got to be done. Mad. Yeah, ferries can cross the North Sea. Ferries have crossed all kinds of stuff over the years. Even places now where we've got bridges. Bridges in the UK used to have ferries underneath them before the bridges were built. So that's where the terminal sort of used to be. And they still occasionally have them as touristy places. I'm sure one of the Bristol 7 bridges has got one. One in Scotland as well. You can still do it. If the people from Top Gear can do it, and the Grand Tour, wherever they're on now, if they can build themselves little ferries to get cars across rivers in Africa, then I'm sure the US, with what they can do, can get a bloody ferry to go across from one side to the other. You'll be back just going to Google, Kirsty. You could be back in 4 days knowing you if you're going to Google. Did they recover the other bodies? I'm not seeing anything on that yet. Hopefully they did. Just absolutely horrific. It doesn't look good, does it? That kind of water, being able to find people. Poor families. It just shows you, doesn't it? Even if you think everything's fine, everything's safe, something like that comes along. No matter how well you think you're doing, you never know. Oh, what's that, Kirsty? The Harbour Connector is an extension of the Charm City Circulator. It's the city's free maritime transit service and connects 4 piers. Children 12 and under must be accompanied by an adult. Right, so they have got something there, have they? The Harbour Connector. So just for people, not cars, right? Well, they're going to have to do something fairly quick-ish, I would have thought. I would also think that they're going to have to start, if they build another one, reassuring the public, because I know loads of conspiracy theories started to spring up on the internet, didn't it? So I think you have to make sure that it's completely and utterly bulletproof and let people know it's been made to the highest of standards. It's a major port, so a ferry would have to cross the path of the port channel. Of course, that as well. Yep. Arvin woke Legolas, time for you to go, right? No worries, Velturisten Hadwig. Happy pissing Lego and Arvin. Which means, yes, it's a bit late, isn't it? Yeah. read a couple of those conspiracy theories. Just loads of them, isn't there? Mind you, every time something does happen, there's a conspiracy theory about it. There's always, every time something happens, there's a conspiracy theory. Fucking ninjas are in my back garden and things like that. Always a conspiracy. Bloody conspiracies coming over here. Yeah, no worries, thank you very much. Dankjewel, had a week. Lovely evening, definitely. I had to put stronger and add more legs to the new bridge, yeah. And make it absolutely top of the range, as good as it can possibly be. But, yeah, I think that's us, isn't it? I'm going to have to go and put my feet up and have a nice glass of alcohol-free red wine. This has worked out alright, apart from the mics going tits up and Botrix not really wanting to join the chat. Flags are there. That's there. This is here. That's working alright. I think this has been quite successful, do you not think? I think so. Yeah. It's not been too bad. So...
That's all we've got time for this evening, so it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.
And that is that.
Hoo-yah!